Alright guys, what is going on? You guys said in the last video with Seth Rollins you kind of like this format. Well, I'm working on the format, but today we're talking about signing with the WWE. In an age where many superstars that you never thought would be in the company are now in the company, it makes you question everything you know about the WWE. Now, when it comes to signing with the WWE, indie superstars such as Richie Swann, Biff Busick, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, you probably a year ago, before Kevin Owens, before Sami Zayn came in, you probably wouldn't have seen him in the company. The last 5 years, the mindset has been Vince likes big buff dudes like Batista, Rock, Triple H. There's a look of a professional wrestler. Well, that has all changed and shifted away in the last year. In today's day and age, when everybody is trying to sign with the WWE or wants to end up in the WWE, the fact that talent such as the Young Bucks, who I respect, I like, I enjoy their work, they went and signed with ROH. Now, they had competing offers from TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor, but they chose to work a lighter load and work for Ring of Honor. Now, by signing with Ring of Honor, they're able to work PWG shows, which they were very adamant about. They get to keep their own shop on Pro Wrestling Tees, and then they also get to work in New Japan because New Japan and ROH have a deal where they coexist together. And New Japan, at the same time, pushed for that deal because they wanted the Young Bucks to work less dates. They wanted them to be more fresh. They wanted them to not go out there and kill themselves on the indies when they can just stay with ROH, New Japan, and PWG. With so many superstars getting injured, superstars like Rusev just recently got injured. You have guys out like Randy Orton who's getting surgery. Seth Rollins is now out. You have guys like Sami Zayn, Hideo Itami who are already and have been out. It makes you really wonder if the WWE's traveling schedule and what they still do just to get those live ticket events is worth it in the long run for talents. When it comes to Triple H, when you finally sign with the WWE, people that come in, Asuka, I always butcher her name. If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. When you have Johnny Gargano down there, you have Tommaso Ciampa, you have Chad Gable, who I watched live at Heavy on Wrestling. Shout out to Rennie B. And got to see Chad Gable perform. He was a bona fide stud when I saw him before. So now the fact that he's in WWE and getting over, that's nothing new to me. I was expecting that. I just didn't know what his name would be. So when you finally sign with the WWE and you're working all these dates, down at NXT you work live events occasionally during the weekends, and then you help set up, you do all your stuff. But then once you hit that main roster, WWE right now is on a 20-show tour in the UK, and rosters are running 10 shows. You know, it's pretty much a show a day, 10 days straight. Maybe there's some gaps in there. 20 shows, 10 split up between the rosters. That is so quite the heavy workload to constantly be going out there and doing. When superstars are constantly getting injured, the question that I have to ask is, should the WWE pull back on live events? Now, as a publicly traded company, the shareholders kind of expect the live revenue that they're getting, they're generating from these events. So if WWE was to magically say, all right, we're going to kind of stop touring as much and cut our schedule down in the third, that may or may not help. Now, talents are not paid on a paper deal like some are in TNA or the indies. Most superstars have a set contract. So that set contract, they can work no dates, they can work a bunch of dates. It really fluctuates. When you have guys like the Young Bucks who now get to work less dates, they get to have their own merchandise store, because when you're in the WWE, your merchandising rates are not good. You don't make very much off of that. You hear all the time from Pro Wrestling Tees, or from wrestlers that joined Pro Wrestling Tees. Shout out to them, by the way. I have a store on Pro Wrestling Tees. I've never actually set up a shirt on there. I don't know what kind of shirt should I ever get. Is you're making more and you're supporting your favorite superstars more by buying those shirts directly from them than you are in the WWE. The problem is you're then going back to working all those indie dates and you're constantly traveling, but it seems like those superstars kind of enjoy that more. When you have superstars that are coming in like Samoa Joe, who chose WWE over TNA, you have AJ Styles, who's working more with Ring of Honor and New Japan instead of TNA. You have a lot of people signing with certain companies for certain reasons. Alberto Del Rio recently returned to the WWE, and rumors came out about his salary, and they said, well, he's probably making around the $450,000 range, which then Conan, if you guys don't know who Conan is, come on, it's Conan, recently said on his podcast that that's got to be incorrect, because in AAA, he was making that same much, and he was his champion, and he didn't think he would leave Triple H for the same amount of money. TNA apparently offered him around $300,000. Now, if TNA offers you $300,000, they only tape, what, once every couple of months? You're really not that much of a TNA superstar. I don't want to crap on the TNA product. I'm grateful for the fact that TNA is around. Look at Derek Bateman. Look at EC3. Look at what he's done. If anything, guys, you don't want TNA to fail because you want another option. Guys that are coming into the WWE, if TNA had failed years ago, the hype around James Storm being on the microphone when he delivered that promo in NXT, it would not have been as strong. TNA provides that outlet as crappily as they're run. Look at the guys coming in. Samoa Joe. You have guys that have worked with that company that are now signed to WWE. And thanks to that, the WWE universe is blowing up. NXT is blowing up. They're skyrocketing. But then you have people that aren't even signed to the company that come in, such as Blue Pants, who apparently got herself so over that she really is no longer working with WWE. She's going back on the indie scene. WrestleCrate, she had a picture in the WrestleCrate last month. If you don't have WrestleCrate, go to WrestleCrate.com. Use code Tubby. Save 10% on your own crate. Shout out. If you missed the unboxing, by the way, feel free to go check that out. Link is right there. And I want to pose the question to you guys. What would you rather sign for? Now, if you sign with WWE, obviously WWE is going to get you the most TV time, the most exposure, the most well-known. If you work with TNA, you might make a pretty good salary. Except you really don't know when you're working. You don't know when, whether or not tapings are going to happen. You're going to get left in the dark for a lot of things. Now, WWE leaves talent in the dark about creative. They leave you in the dark about a lot of things. But at least you know for the most part, if you're in the fold somewhat, that you're going to have a job. TNA, there's so much uncertainty all the time. You don't know. Like the tours that are coming up, the tour of India, which is being financed as part of, I still can't believe they're financing it. I can't do it. I can't do the share shuffle. I just can't do it. Being financed for that. Greg Khali is working over in TNA because WWE didn't apparently want him, so he's doing the TNA tour instead of the WWE version. TNA is headed over to the UK, and outside of those two events, TNA talent don't know when they're working. So would you rather sign with that? But hey, you're a professional wrestler who's getting paid to be a professional wrestler if you don't have a pay-per deal or a pay-per showing up deal, but then you really don't get to wrestle. Or would you rather sign with Ring of Honor, who's got deals with New Japan? You can head over to New Japan. You can hang out with them. You can work, if you have a good contract, like the Young Bucks, you can work in PWG. Now, none of the other talents in Ring of Honor have that deal. Guys like Jay Lethal, Adam Cole, they can't go do that. So I'm glad the Young Bucks kept that deal because it would suck to lose the Young Bucks from PWG. I'm sure the PWG fans would hate to see the loss of the Young Bucks as well, with so many superstars getting ripped away and taken to WWE. So when it comes down to it, the question I want to ask you guys, who would you sign with? Now, I know most of you would probably say WWE because it's who, that's the company, that's the top dog. But would you choose WWE for the more exposure? Would you choose TNA for less work? Would you choose ROH for, being some of the best professional wrestling on the planet? What would you do? Who would you choose? Let me know in the comment section below. Get involved. Tell me Alberto Del Rio chose WWE. Young Bucks chose Ring of Honor. Guys like EC3, Kurt Angle are still working over in TNA. The Hardys are working over there. The Dudleys recently came back to the WWE. So there's a lot of shifting going on. Michael Elgin decided to stay in Ring of Honor instead of coming over to WWE. So there's a lot of flip-flopping. The question I want to ask you guys, where do you go? What do you do? Sound off in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you want to see more of these videos, if you have any topics you would like me to talk about, make sure to let me know. Hit me up on social media, @TubbyEmu, on Facebook, @TubbyEmu. And that's about it. Until next time, guys, we will see you all later. And because I stole it from Tony,